Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again, and today we take on the Vegas Golden Knights in the Western Conference Final. We're going to get right down to business in today's episode. Of course, our lineup changed last time out, really mixing up the bottom six, and despite them not, exactly setting the world on fire with their performance, it was better than the alternative, also known as Chris Tierney, Philip Deneau, and Connor Brown. But it is good to know, of course, that we have those three players available to us in case of injury or in case things go poorly. Now, as I mentioned, we're getting right into this, so let's take a look at what we're up against in the form of the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm getting used to saying that. I believe this is our first postseason series in NHL 18 against the Knights, and let's take a look. All right. It's a little bit better than I thought it would be. Their top line consists of Teuvo Teravainen, 29 years old, 82 overall. He has 6 points in how many games? 10 games. That is unreal. 10 games to get to this point. That is absolutely crazy. He has 6 points in 10 games. Their top center, Brendan Morrissey, 90 overall. Medium elite at 22 years old. You would expect him to be a top 5, maybe even a top 3 pick. That is not the case. He is a steal and a half, the 44th overall selection in 2019. That is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. And even more so, he has 11 points in 10 games. Yikes. That's all I can say. The top line right wing, Alex Tuch, of course, at this point in time, still a real member of the Knights. 27 years old, 86 overall. He has 5 points so far this postseason. So while Teravainen might be kind of a question mark, there's no doubt. I mean, that is a very capable top line. And the second line, equally as dangerous, maybe. They have Nick Suzuki on the left wing. He has 7 points so far this postseason. Centered by Evgeny Kuznetsov, who has 6 points at an 88 overall. And Joel, or is it Joel or Joel? I think it's Joel Eriksson Ek. Only 3 points, 82 overall. A legitimate second line forward, though. And a pretty damn good set of attributes there, with the exception, of course, of the shot. The third line, you have Nolan Foote, the former #1 overall selection. Right now, a third line checking forward at an 84 overall. He has 4 goals this postseason. Centered by Elias Anderson, who has 10 points. He must have power play time. And Don Simmons, 81 overall, the former 10th overall selection in 2021. So the draft picks, Morrissey, Simmons, Foote, a real-life draft pick like Nick Suzuki, they're making an impact on this team. We finally get to the fourth line with Brian Rust. Graham Kadri, a former #2 overall selection. He's a second-line center playing on the fourth line. How is he not complaining about that? I have no idea. And then the real deal, James Neal's still there. The big deal, as some might call him. God damn it. 1 goal so far this postseason. The defense is a little bit weaker. I think we can say that, right? EA, you're not gonna make me pay for saying that. I feel like that's a fair criticism. Their top pairing, Anthony Darling, former 5th round pick. My God, so a big time steal for them. 86 overall. He has 7 points in those 10 games. Have I been saying 11 games? I feel like I might have been saying 11 games. It's 10 games. We even looked. Brett Pesce, no points, 84 overall. However, we get to the second pairing. EA. We get to the second pairing, thank you very much, with Darnell Nurse and Nikita Nestorov. Now, you look at the stats. We even, had him on our team at one point. Maybe not ideal to have him on your second pair. And then we get to the third pairing with Nate Schmidt, who only turned into a 78. That's a bit surprising. And Alexander Alexiev. Now, again, former 10th overall pick. Hasn't really turned into anything too spectacular, but a decent enough defensive D-man. I guess right now my question will be, of course, injuries and goaltending. Eric Holla down to a 75 is a healthy scratch, as is Jacob Olofsson, former 16th overall pick. And Reed Duke, the OG, also a fourth-line guy, currently a healthy scratch. The goaltender is 84 overall, Eric Comrie. He has a .941 save percentage. Juuse Saros is the backup. Interesting. That's what we'll go with. An interesting team. You would like to think our offensive firepower would be able to outduel their weak on paper defense. But weak on paper doesn't mean anything in this game. They're 8-2 so far. It's going to be a challenge. Again, we are halfway there. 8 wins down, 8 to go, but we cannot overlook the Vegas Golden Knights. Let's get this series underway. Game 1 in Hartford. Let's make an impact, and let's make it early. First period, and that's what I'm talking about. Mr. Quick, Phil Quick with the goal. Scores on Eric Comrie. Tied in shots, 9 apiece, but we have the 1-0 lead. That is the type of start I was looking for. Second period, that is also helpful. Max Jones, I don't get what's up with him. Just he'll chip in with those playoff goals when you least expect it. Maybe he is worth keeping on the fourth line moving forward. He gets the goal. We're still just about even in shots, but we have the 2-0 lead on the scoreboard. Early power play chance for Vegas to begin the third period, but that has been killed off. We have a power play chance of our own that we can't capitalize either. We can't capitalize on either. We have 7 minutes to go. Can we hold on? Can Jyrki Petrolainen shut that door? Austin Watson adds the empty netter, and the Hartford Whalers defend home ice in a big-time way. 3-0 win, 31 save shutout for Mr. Petrolainen, and we have handed Vegas just their third loss of the postseason. Great game for Eric Comrie as well. 935 save percentage, 29 saves, but we're able to walk away with the win. How do you like that? Again, good start. I wanted us to defend home ice to begin this series. So far, so good. We'll jump right into game 2. We're obviously not going to make any lineup changes. We'll see what happens here. I would, of course, love for us to win both games, but, you know, at the very least, we managed to win that first game. We got that first win out of the way. First period of game 2, and it's another strong start. Austin Watson making the most of this opportunity that I never even really expected him to have. I didn't think we'd have to put him into our lineup unless there was an injury. We outshot them 15-7. Watson with that lone goal. It's another strong start for us. Second period, the Vegas Golden Knights, they might not be done. Nolan Foote and Nick Suzuki strike back to give them a 2-1 lead. However, Nick Foligno scores from our side of the blue line. That might be the furthest goal I've ever seen. You know, typically it'll be kind of on their side of the red line. It's as if he just crossed our blue line. And, like, did he dump it in? Did he take a slap shot? I would love to know. I really would. Like, seriously, I'd love to see that goal. I don't know if anybody, I mean, I'm sure some people remember, but NFL 2K5, they used to have the Sports Center highlight show, and the game itself would generate these replays that you never witnessed happen. It would just kind of generate the animations and be like, hey, here's how this magical play happened. I wish NHL could do the same thing, because I'd love to see how Eric Comrie was beaten by Nick Foligno on that shot. I'd love to know. I'm thankful that it went in, though. We are tied up. The unfortunate thing, we're outshooting them 28-13, so that was a bit of a rough period for us. I'd say the advantage goes to Vegas, despite that awful goal let up by Comrie, because despite being outshot, we are tied, and now it's much worse as Darnell Nurse, I didn't mean to rhyme there, beats Jyrki Petrolainen. We're able to kill off another power play. We cannot stay out of the box. That is trouble, but thankfully, Mr. Tuzolino gets us on the board. 5 minutes to go. Are we destined for overtime, or will there be a winner before then? There will not be. So we are going to overtime. 38 shots to 22. One could argue Jyrki Petrolainen is the only reason why this is going to overtime. He is not having his finest game. I mean, an outside shot by Suzuki. Nolan Foote's in a somewhat good position, but then another slightly outside shot. I mean, you see where Darnell Nurse scores. I mean, we used to joke about that in the Bruins series back in NHL 16. Like, that's the Rask spot. That's where just magically goalies give up terrible shots. We're going to overtime. Hopefully we can salvage a win here. Can we make the most of it? As Tuzolino was able to get that goal, we have an early power play opportunity that we can't take advantage of. Look out for Vegas to score quickly. You think I've seen that script play out a couple of times? Teuvo Teravainen gets the game winner in overtime. 4-3 victory for the Knights. They tied this series up at 1 game apiece. We outshot them 41-26. That simply didn't matter. Nurse, Suzuki, and Foligno are your 3 stars. The main thing I want to look at here, number 1, penalties. What the hell happened? Third period, Lydecker and Foligno, go figure, and then Kadri took the penalty in overtime. That is unfortunate. The other thing I wanted to look at, Petrolainen. What was your save percentage in that game? .846. Jyrki Petrolainen, maybe even our defense. Blame it on whoever you want. That's a rough game for Petrolainen. And because of that, this series is tied. Anytime you score 3 goals in the postseason, you'd like to think that's going to be enough for a win. Anytime you score 3 goals in general, excuse me. Anytime you score 3 goals in general, you'd like to think it would be a win. Not on that occasion. We will jump right into Game 3. No need to panic and make any lineup moves just yet. I think we'll be okay. Hopefully the Whalers prove me right. First period of Game 3, and it's a goal apiece. Eriksson Ek and Taylor Radish. 13 shots to 8. So they are struggling defensively to shut down our offense. We have to keep that in mind. We just need Petrolainen to step up. And even then, 5 more shots on the board, but we're tied on the scoreboard. It's not great. Second period, that's better. I was about to say, speaking of not great, but no, that worked out relatively well. Evgeny Kuznetsov scores 44 seconds into the period to give them the 2-1 lead, only for Nathan MacKinnon to score 1 minute and 7 seconds later. He gets another one and another one. Nathan MacKinnon with the hat trick. The hat trick. I don't know what the... Nathan MacKinnon with the hat trick in the second period, putting the team on his back. But I don't want to get too excited. And I think you can kind of tell, like, my hesitation here. Because this game's not over. Third period. Let's go. What a performance from Nathan MacKinnon. But we'll forget all about it if we don't get the result on the scoreboard. Now, we are able to kill off a penalty to start the third period. We're halfway through. A power play chance of our own. 5-on-3 that we can't take advantage of. All right. Vegas loses a power play themselves. But we're good. Just like that. Kind of anticlimactic. I'll take it, though. Off the bat, off of the ridiculous performance of Nathan MacKinnon, where, again, he just puts the team on his back and carries us to victory. The Hartford Whalers rebound from the Game 2 loss. We take Game 3, and we have a 2-1 series lead. And 31 saves for Petrolainen, a .939 save percentage. Much better. Much, much better from him. Giving up the 2 goals in that game. And that's unfortunate. Eric Tuzolino goes down to injury, and when talking about who the call-up option is, it's Reinhart, Nielsen, or who the hell's the other guy? Neil. Right. Shows how much we've had to use him in this series. To be honest, I'm going to call up a righty. So I believe that would be Carl Neal. Either that or Phil Crosby. I mean, well, Reinhart is a half-decent option. I'm actually going to go with Griffin Reinhart. I'm not going to worry too much about handedness. We will call up Griffin Reinhart. Let's go with best lines. I want to actually set that up the way we had it. Perfect. Then on defense... Wow, it actually puts Reinhart up there, huh? What we're going to do is go with... How do we want to do this? Because Appleby's been struggling so far this postseason. I think we're going to go Ribeiro, Appleby, Reinhart, TBR. Looks good to me. Good enough for me, at least. I mean, obviously the injury right now to Tuzolino kind of sucks. Hopefully it won't prove to be too big of a factor. We will just have to wait and see. It actually puts Reinhart on the power play. Are you kidding me? That's not a thing. No. That is not going to be a thing. I would rather put Nick Foligno there. I'd rather just have, another forward. Why the hell not? Which, to be honest, how do I want to do this? No, I'll just leave Nick Foligno there. It's fine. Who cares? I'd rather have him there than Griffin Reinhart, to be honest. So we'll see how that affects things. Game 4. Let's go. We have the 2-1 lead. Let's see if we can keep the momentum going. First period of Game 4 is scoreless. 8-6 in our favor. Second period is not scoreless. It is very much not scoreless. Nathan MacKinnon scores 38 seconds into the period. Warren Dirksen adds another one, and then with 33 seconds to go, a triangle of doom for Eric Comrie. It's a 3-0 lead at the end of the second period. 20 shots to 16 in our favor. Elias Anderson does get a goal back, 1:29 into the third period. So again, we'll temper our expectations here. Let's stay calm, composed, focused on winning this game. We have a power play chance that we are not able to capitalize on. Brian Rust with the shorthanded goal. 2 minutes to go. Can the Whalers hold on? Yes, they can, as we take a 3-1 series lead. So a little bit of a scare in the third period as Elias Anderson and then Brian Rust with the shorthanded goal are able to get it to within 1. But unfortunately for the Vegas Golden Knights, they run out of time. Phil Quick with a 2-point night, 2 assists for Lucas Leidecker. And we are 1 win away. Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves, of course, but we are just 1 win away. And you look at the penalties. I mean, 1 apiece, like 1 in each period. Unfortunately, it was that Nolan Foote tripping minor where we witnessed Mr. Brian Rust get that goal back. But there you have it. We are 1 win away. 3 opportunities to close out Vegas in this series. Let's see if we can get the job done. Game 5, back on home ice in Hartford. Let's end it right here and right now. And traditionally in this series, I feel like we've had a rough time closing things out in Game 5s when we've had a 3-1 series lead. So let's make sure we get the job done here. That goes for the Montreal series too, just saying. First period of Game 5, and that was a half-decent start, and then it went downhill. Taylor Radish scores, only for Elias Anderson and Eriksson Ek to get the goals back. They outshot us 15-5. So we got off to a good start with Radish getting the goal, and then they just kicked our asses for the rest of that period. I'm thankful that we're only down by 1, to be honest. Second period, well, we're still only down by 1. Daniel Sprong was able to tie the game, only for, again, Vegas to strike back with 2 goals. Alex Tuck and James Neal. Max Jones gets another postseason goal. This one also from center ice. Eric Comrie, what's going on, buddy? And we're back to within 1 because of that goal. 4-3 on the scoreboard, just about even in shots. We'll see if we can get to Comrie to tie this up, or if we are going back to Vegas for Game 6. We have an early power play opportunity. It's a long power play chance as well. Good Lord, we couldn't score on that. How? We have another one, though, and we still can't score on that. We're going to lose. I mean, if we can't score on power play chances like that, we are done for. And Eriksson Ek gets the empty netter. Eric Comrie able to shut the door down the stretch. And the Vegas Golden Knights take Game 5. A 3-point night for Anthony Darling, their best defenseman. And that will do it for that. Now, the penalties. It was a double minor high sticking on Brian Rust, and then a holding minor on Brett Pesce. We're doing a good job of staying out of the box. Just unfortunately, our power play wasn't able to deliver on that opportunity. Now, the good news is Eric Tuzolino is back, and that is going to be extremely helpful. Let's go best lines, and we'll swap these 2 around yet again. Dadonov hasn't done anything for us. And to be honest, because of that, I'm taking him out of the lineup. I am taking him out of the lineup. I'm not sure who I'm going to put there, to be honest. It might have to be Philip Deneau. So let's get Deneau back into the lineup, and we'll change things up here. Of course, Griffin Reinhart, we'll just leave him as a healthy scratch. It's fine. The question is, I think we're going to go Foligno, Deneau, Radish. I mean, Radish has 5 points. I mean, that's the thing, though. Radish, Jones, and Roberts are working out pretty well together as a 4th line. So I think maybe we'll go Foligno, Deneau, and Austin Watson, but Watson as well is doing extremely well. Actually, that's what it was. It was Jones, Watson, Radish. So, you know what? I think we'll keep them together. Well, Foligno, Deneau, and Connor Roberts as the new third line. And then on defense, I'm going to have to take out Griffin Reinhart. Damn it. Damn it. I was hoping it would put Ribeiro there by default. It did not. Come on, EA. Really? Roster moves, please. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So, see you later, Griffin Reinhart. Let's get this team set up again. Maybe address the power play. Of course, at the end of the last episode, I think I showed it, but definitely before this episode, I mean, I took a look at our power play and our PK, and I didn't change anything because there was really no reason to do so. And again, our defense is struggling a little bit. What combination can we run with that we haven't gone with so far? Maybe Tuzolino, Harkins, Provorov, Appleby. I don't think I've done that yet. It's worth a shot. And on defense, I'm just going to leave the power play the way it is, and we're going to hope for the best. So we'll go best lines down there, even though it doesn't matter because they're not playing. And it's time for Game 6, back in Las Vegas. Can we end this series right here and right now? Or will the Knights find a way, as you probably heard Emmy jumping around in the background, or will the Golden Knights find a way to force Game 7? All right, let's do this. What do you say? First period. And that was not a very good start. Kadri gets the only goal. We outshot them 12-7. Kadri, though, with the lone goal. Second period. Still not great. Nolan Foote made it 2-0, only for Nathan McKinnon 42 seconds later to tie the game, or not to tie the game, I wish, to get on the scoreboard, I should say. This seems a little bit disjointed. I had to go let the dog outside, so I'm out of the moment, man. The dog broke my immersion. Third period of Game 6, and Simmons just made it 3-1. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We have a ridiculously long power play chance that we can't score on. We're halfway through the third period. The Knights are moments away, the Golden Knights, are moments away from forcing Game 7. And that'll do it. Darling, with the empty netter, I talked about it. If anything, I jinxed us. Because the Vegas Golden Knights have forced Game 7. Eric Comrie with 34 saves. And there's going to be a Game 7 in Hartford. We had a 3-1 series lead, and we just threw it away by being outscored 9-4 between Games 5 and 6. And now we have to ask ourselves, what exactly is our best lineup that we can roll with? Because this is it. Like, we are one win away from either going to the Stanley Cup Final or missing out entirely. So let's see. Roberts has 3 points. And I'm not too happy with Deneau or Foligno, for that matter. I don't see how I really could be. 2 goals. I mean, again, Tierney didn't do much for us. Dadnoff didn't do anything for us. Brown didn't really do anything for us. I think I'm going to change the fourth line out with the third line. And then on the second line, I mean, I'm not too happy with how they're playing at the moment, I gotta admit. But just to try and kickstart the offense a little bit, I'm going to swap Daniel Sprong with Nolan Patrick on defense. I mean, it's still not great. Let's put Provorov with Tuzolino, I guess, and then Harkins and Appleby. I mean, it's a little bit concerning that we are struggling to find that perfect combination. And then just flat out, Petrolainen has to be a little bit better to get us over this final hurdle and to get us to the Cup Final. That is the team that we are going to go with. It's Game 7. We'll take a look. It's also a Game 7 in the East between the Islanders and the Florida Panthers. So this is pretty crazy. We don't know who we'd be facing. We're either going to be facing... we're either going to be facing another team. It just depends on... Well, we are going to be facing another team. It's just a matter of whether or not it's on the ice or on the golf course. My God. I don't think I'm too comfortable with that analogy. I tried to phrase it a certain way. You get the point. Let's at least get to the Cup Final before you break my heart. First period of Game 7 here on home ice. It is scoreless, 8 shots apiece. Dead even. Second period. Thank God. Daniel Sprong, Nick Foligno, Nathan MacKinnon. 3 goals now on 22 shots. We have them doubled up on shots, and we are 20 minutes away from either an absolutely horrific collapse or we are going to the Stanley Cup Final for the second time in this series. Let's go. Talk about Daniel Sprong stepping up. Foligno reacting to getting dropped. Nathan MacKinnon continues to perform well. Yevgeny Kuznetsov gets a goal back here at the beginning of the third. We have a power play chance that we cannot do anything with. We're probably going to have to address that. 5 minutes to go, and a little bit before then, with 6:06 remaining, Nathan MacKinnon grabs his second of the game, and that will do it. The Hartford Whalers, for the second time in this series, oh my God, for the second time, the Hartford Whalers, for the second time in the series, the Hartford Whalers are going to the Stanley Cup Final. I'm sorry. I 100% expected us to blow it, so I'm a little bit caught off guard right now and in a state of complete shock. But with a 4-1 victory in Game 7, I mean, especially when I saw their defense, I'm like, oh my God, we are going to lose. But we didn't. And Nathan MacKinnon, our big signing from this past free agency, stepped up in a gigantic way. 3 points in Game 7. Sprong and Lidecker, I mean, that's our top line right there. For that game, that was our top line. They stepped up. They delivered. As you get a look, I just wanted to take a look at the penalties there because, again, we weren't able to make the most of it, at least in the third period. I mean, the question is, who are we facing, of course, in the Cup Final? Is it going to be spoiled by this menu right here? Yes, it is. It's the New York Islanders. I was hoping they hadn't played yet, but there you have it. And they have home ice advantage. Remember, we had a 51-win season, was it? Or was it even 54 games? Yet the Islanders have home ice advantage. It was 51 wins. The Islanders must have won the President's Trophy, right? They didn't. They finished second, 108 points. They beat us by 1 point, even though we had 4 more wins in the regulation plus overtime category. They had the fewer losses. I believe that's what it is, the fewer regulation losses. And because of that, and despite the fact that we won the Western Conference title, the New York Islanders have home ice advantage in the Cup Final. And we do need to take a look at a couple of things here before we wrap up this episode. I do want to check our power play percentage, which is down to 21.8%, which honestly isn't too bad. But you'd like it to be a little bit better. 12 goals out of 55 chances actually isn't that bad. Our penalty kill is at 84%, so that might need a little bit of work. We can kind of take a look and tinker with a few things if we have to. Of course, we'll take a look at the Islanders lineup in the next episode, but right now you look at our goaltending. All 18 games played by Jyrki Petrolainen. He has a .933 save percentage. On defense, I mean, Appleby, 8 points in 18 games, not too bad, but this high-scoring defense hasn't really delivered so far this postseason. Again, 50 points for Gary Harkins. Almost called him Glenn Harkins. Gary hasn't done anything. He has 1 goal, 3 assists. That's not good enough. Tuzolino as well. I mean, we went after these guys specifically to, try and provide that bit of a scoring offense. Or, that bit of a scoring touch. I should say I'm also getting sick, so I'm sorry, too. If I sound all congested, but you get the point. We need this team to step up. I don't really expect Casey Ribeiro to be getting any points. And, of course, take a look at our forwards. Lucas Lidecker's already at 20 points in 18 games. Nathan MacKinnon, 12 goals. That is what we needed. Of course, though, it's been the secondary scoring that really hasn't been there, but Watson, Radish, and Jones are proving to be a pretty solid line. Connor Roberts with 4 points, 3 points in 14 games for Nick Foligno. Chris Tierney only 1 point in 6 games, 1 point in 7 games for Philip Deneau. Dadnoff had 1 point in 10 games. Connor Brown, of course, played the 5 games, no points, and was a -6. So I think that pretty much covers it. We were able to survive a scare against the Vegas Golden Knights. And now here we are, back in the Stanley Cup Final. Of course, we lost to the Carolina Hurricanes, and, a bout of tremendous irony, we'll call it that, for lack of a better term. And now we are back, and we will face the New York Islanders, who could potentially move to Hartford in real life. Who knows, right? You never know. The old Whalers, it was, when we faced Carolina, it was the old Whalers against the older Whalers. And now it could be the older Whalers against the new Whalers, perhaps. I mean, I don't think they'd change the name, but you never know. It's the Islanders franchise. That's right. I'm going to take as many shots at the Islanders franchise as I can right now before the series begins, because I'm sure I'm in for a pretty rough time next episode. But maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to at least start next episode with a little bit of optimism. But for now, that will do it for this one. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, you know what you got to do to support the video and the channel. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. So we're approaching 7K subs. We're getting there. We're getting there. Where are we? What are we getting to? I don't know. I mean, regardless, still more subs than I ever expected. So there's that. Of course, links as well are in the description to my Twitter and Twitch. Follow me on both platforms if you have not already. I have to sneeze, so I'm going to end this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.